things like
And
that.
secondly, just for Kim, right? Just for Kim.
My son made these, and
Right.
he hand sewed them because he didn't have a machine.
I'll just share you. Dr. Rahul told about the Baba Ramdev Yoga Sun. That the yoga teacher is there in India that is called Baba Ramdev, and he's coming on the TV daily. Indian time morning 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock on India TV, where the 1 hour session is there by which how to improve your immunity, how to improve your respiratory problem, and what other problem and how to get rid of from this corona. So that yoga sun which is taughting is very good, because when he mentioned it, you may not be aware from where it is coming and what is coming.
Yeah, and I agree. But you know what? Let's talk about this. Maybe we can have a 30-minute session or a 1 hour session once a week. But we don't just talk about it. We show it. We show the foods to eat. We show good examples of recipes. Because a lot of people, you can tell them to eat kiwi or to eat whatever, but they're not going to eat it unless they know how to cook it or how to prepare it. So maybe we can say, for the best 5 meals this week, try these meals, and we have somebody who shows you how to cook them. And then while you're doing, if you've got 5 extra minutes today, do some stretches and breathing, right? If you're sitting there and you're twiddling your thumbs, instead of Googling, breathe, right? And take 5 minutes to breathe and meditate and stretch. Or the one doctor said, run it.
We will have a separate session with some yoga teacher. Just now, Dr. Amandeep Sangha has joined us.
That's right.
Welcome, doctor. So you can have the question with me.
Yeah, she could definitely teach us some good habits. And she's such a spiritual person. And wow, it's always a blessing to have you join us. Thank you so much.
We'll bring some spiritual person also. Those who will just tell us have the remedy with the spiritual. It's just like that.
All of these habits and eating healthier and everything also make you younger, right? You build your immune system. And we talked about this too with stem cells, where they're saying, they can put stem cells in you, and the stem cells will make you younger. It heals the inside of your body and makes you younger. If you feel younger, you come across younger, you can do younger things. But how do you feel about all of this, Dr. Amandeep?
Yeah. So first of all, how is it like? How are you guys coping up? Especially in America, how are you coping up psychologically more than anything?
So it's not COVID that's going to kill us, it's politics.
Yeah.
And if you want to conquer us, it's called divide and conquer. and this COVID has done a really good job. So I think it's a political issue. We're not about, we're not about surviving this. It's not about the people. They would rather sacrifice human lives. It comes across every day. We'd rather sacrifice human lives and put people back to work than have our economy die.
When are you opening up? When is America opening up now?
I don't think we ever closed.
Yeah, kind of, but officially, when are you opening up?
I don't think we ever. There are some places that closed and some places that didn't. We have protesters. But when are we going back to where we're opening up jobs?
I think the first thing in the morning, I think most of the Indians look at the news from America more than the news from India.
It's more entertaining.
In Florida, WWF is essential. WWF is essential in Florida.
No, it's the drama. Okay. It's all about the drama. We are entertaining. We are entertaining the world, right? How many people are going to die? This is called bleed, right? This is where Paul Franklin had told us from CBS. He was the president of CBS. Kim, if you don't bleed, you don't lead. So here you go. You have it. The first thing people want to watch is what's America doing? Maybe we should do a show on that, Ankit.
Do you guys have a spaceship to take you to a planet which you guys have not disclosed has life, and only Americans are going to go stay there on that planet? Any plans like that?
Let me wait and see what my president's Twitter is, okay? So this is what I tell people right now. We are struggling amongst ourselves, if we want to conquer a virus, right? It's called divide. That means social distancing. That's how we conquer the virus. But if you want to conquer the U.S., you divide us by politicians, and we're struggling. We don't seem to have the resources we need. As you can tell, our death rate is extremely high. So is our infection rates. And I tell people our infection rates are 10 days behind. So it's probably like Raj had mentioned and predicted, next week is going to be 20,000. I predict we're going to be double next week. We're not going to see a flat line for a very long time because we don't have peace. We need somebody like you to teach us peace. If you know self-respect, you respect others, right? And right now, and maybe you can shed some light on this. I am aware that when there's a tragedy that happens, there are 5 stages to grieving, and you have to go through these 5 stages, right? It's just nature. Even animals do it. They go through a grieving process. So the earth has been hit, and we're all kind of being punished and sent to our rooms. So it's kind of a grief time. What is your thoughts on this? How do we address?
Um, yeah, definitely. So I think a lot has to do with the culture. I don't know. Indians believe in karma. We believe a lot in karma. I don't know how much the Americans believe in karma. Like people think that the zoos should be open. Like we are in the zoos right now. People are thinking they should go vegetarian, and there are like people like those who could never have thought of a vegetarian diet. India is thinking in the karma cycle, more of a karma cycle. That yes, maybe we are the viruses, and this virus that has come, COVID, is the vaccine. It is just to save the planet Earth, and yeah, that's it. And what we are seeing in India is we are seeing the human nature, the humane nature of our society. The part of India that I belong to, Punjab, we are blessed to be prosperous in the way that we have a lot of produce. The only thing you need right now is food to eat, and we will not fall short of food. And people are out there to, the gurdwaras and the langars, how it goes, right? So everybody makes sure that nobody should go hungry. I think the people who are in need in this part of the country, maybe a lot of them have excess because people are actually looking out for people whom they can give the rations and donate money to. So people come out in the cars and they just look for, are there any poor people around? Is there anybody hungry around? Is there anybody who needs to be fed? And believe me, whatever door you knock today, if a poor person is coming to your house, we have a lot of poverty, right? People go without food. But in this part of the country, if somebody knocks a door and says he wants food, he either gets cooked food or gets semi cooked food. So, in a way, that is keeping us alive. We keep looking at those people, we are much better off. We have a house to live, we have food to eat, we have some savings that will pull us through for another few months, even if we don't go to work. So, yes, that is one part. So, in the grief part now, every day the reality changes. Initial days, we were just looking at what is happening in Italy, what is happening in Spain, then what is happening in America. Then we started looking at our numbers, what is happening in our country. Now everybody has settled to that fact that yes, let us see. We will go through the same that the whole world is going through. Probably if our immunity is strong, and probably if our people are uh, patient enough and intelligent enough to obey the social distancing and just to give up their greed, the greed for a short term. I believe two things are going to take down a country: greed and stupidity. And every country has that in enough numbers. So it depends what percentage of greedy people you have and what percentage of stupid people you have. We have a lot of stupid people. We have a lot of stupid people, and yeah. So we are doing our part. We believe we are doing our part, and we are keeping our fingers crossed that the number of stupid and the number of greedy are the ones who are going to decide the fate of the country or the fate of the situation in every part.
So is it in
We've
your
come, we've
community?
come to terms, we've come to terms with this. We are at that part that we have come to terms, and we know we have to open up, and we have to limit being in whatever profession you are. We have to know media people are becoming infected in high numbers in India. Doctors, of course, are becoming infected in high numbers. So we are thinking we'll start working with a lot of precautions. Our patients have to be educated. Thankfully, at this time, we have good amount of data, and everybody has internet, and we can already send the information to people. So we are thinking that good at this point of time, everybody has a smartphone, which is a blessing. We have data, which is a blessing. Information can travel, which is a blessing. We are counting on the blessings now. Yeah, everything seems to be a blessing. The most important person is that vegetable vendor that comes to your house. The most important, the music is that sound of the gas cylinder. That is music to our ears. Yes, we are receiving our gas cylinders. We were going to cook. So realities have changed. We are adjusting to this new reality.
Wow, that is, and I agree with you. I think we need to start counting our blessings, right? Simplicity in life. We don't need all of the luxury things and everything. Take a look at what you have, and I agree with you. When you do something for other people, just simply as giving them an extra, putting an extra plate at your table for a hungry person, that feels good. And feeling good is about building your own immunity, because when you feel good, your mood is good, mentally you're happier. But I always found, even when I'm at my lowest, if I'm doing for somebody else, I forget about my problems, right? And I realized how thankful I am to have the ability to feed somebody else. And I think that we left that in our country. We became very self-entitled, and it's all about the instant gratification, but real gratification comes from time and patience. What are your thoughts on that? Just enjoying the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen a lot of struggles for Indians every day is a struggle. Most of the Indians every day is a struggle to drive on a smooth road. We are used to hardships. We don't expect our governments to do much. That's a beautiful thing that we don't expect our governments to do much, and thankfully our governments are doing a lot this time. So we know we have to take care of ourselves. Our care is we have not sublet our care to the government. We don't feel that that person is responsible for saving us. Nobody is. We are wired to think that there is no magical pill. We are wired to think that nobody has ever given us instant gratification. So maybe we are coping up a little better because we know that yes, this is the struggle, and we have been through the struggle all our life, and that is kind of helping us. We don't look up to somebody that yeah, we are expecting somebody to do a miracle for us, which is going to save us. No,
So
we know we have to defend ourselves.
And that's interesting culture, to me, because you guys are just staying calm. You're staying at home, weathering the storm. The storm is outside. It's rattling the houses. It's probably driving everybody crazy. All the moms are probably going, if I have to hear my kids one more time, because we're not used to kids being home, right? So why do you think your culture, you said that you're used to weathering these storms, you don't expect much from your government. Why do you think that is? Why is it so different there? Is it from your foundation of education and family learning, your culture?
That is how we don't have social security.
Wow.
One thing, we don't have social security. Our government does not provide us with social security. The free education is a very primary education. The government schools are actually for the poor who cannot afford. So we are used to spending on everything for ourselves, right from our education to higher education to health to our housing. We have always gathered up for the storm. We save a lot. Indians save a lot. Like we don't splurge till the time we know we have sufficient to pull us through for a year or so. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
when we see that yeah, people are going for vacations, you guys are going buying your boats and going for vacations, going for a world trip around this world in your yachts. We everybody envies you, know. You guys are secure. You have a security. You don't have to bother about your food. But it's not so for us. So that
it's
is
not.
yeah.
We live beyond our means. Okay, so what they have taught us very wrong in this country, and it's been a very hard battle to re-educate people. When I was growing up, I was taught to save, and we were rewarded by saving. The banks would give us a little bit of interest. Very good. Today, you are rewarded by spending, and then they give us
Absolutely,
these really
absolutely.
false loans, like, don't pay any principal for 3 years, but then after that they attack you. So you can buy this grand mansion. I call them McDonald mansions, right? Because they're just manufactured mansions, and they were selling them to people who really couldn't afford them, but they could on this special loan. But 3 years later, they wanted their principal, and then most of these people couldn't pay it, so they lost their homes. So you have highly paid people, highly paid professionals that were losing their homes because they bit off more than they could chew. But that's what happened. We were living beyond our means. The other one that I don't like is the student loan program. So we most of the children graduating from college are graduating with $250,000 debt. And the loans are divided up by semester. So one semester might be 7% on that loan. The next semester is going to be 4, and the next. So you can't even balance how you're going to pay it back. It's not combined into one loan package. You pay it off and based on the interest rates. And I'll go, well, can I pay off the 7% part? Oh, no, 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 no. You got to pay it off a little at a time. So the 7% part might. So, but even the students don't understand it. A lot of working parents don't understand it, and they get screwed really bad. But we allow our children now to get a professional degree, to go into a working profession, but they're enslaved. So we're not enjoying the yachts and the boats like you think you say that we are. A lot of people go out and buy them and live beyond their means, but then they struggle and they lose their houses. They are so in debt they have to take second loans, third loan. They are now enslaved to their jobs, so they have to work. But this is what America did. This is what the top 1% did. They made you obligated, and they enslaved the people. So you want a degree, fine, but you're going to be enslaved to work for the rest of your life to pay that off. Because how many people do you know can graduate from school with a $250 loan on their back, $250,000 loan on their back? Okay. They have a $250,000 loan on their back. Can you go out and earn that kind of money that first year? No. And most of the jobs weren't available. So we live beyond our means. And I think COVID is going to teach us to get back to the basics, right? But it was an interesting view on your part that we have all these luxuries. I would rather have your lifestyle: saved, prepared for the storm, and then when a storm hits, I'm calm. I'm not worried about paying my bills. I'm not. But the other one thing I'm worried about is paying my health insurance. Our health insurance jumped from $200 a month to $2,000 a month. And it doesn't cover all of our doctor bills. When we go to the doctor, we still have to pay $200 to visit the doctor. So I'm more worried right now about my health insurance. So if I want to avoid spending money on medical care, I got to get healthy. If I want to get healthy, I need to learn from you how to mentally become better, right? What are some things you would teach your students? What are some of the things you would teach your students?
Teach our students.
Yeah, or just teach a new student. Say I line up some students from the US. What would be some of the first things that you would teach us about life to prepare us for things like this?
I think more to do with uh, we actually look very high upon Americans. We look high upon Americans. We think you guys are very sorted. I think you guys are smart. The smart people, the smartest things have always come from America.
I think we're creative and we're very
You
good.
guys are creative. You guys are you guys are very focused. And that focus comes from because you don't have to worry about a lot of things. You
But we
can just stick to your super specialization. You just keep doing one thing and you can earn your livelihood. And that is when you create a great thing. We have to take care of a lot of things. We have to take care of our education loan. We have to take care of our expenses. We need to earn very well to have a good lifestyle. Earning a little does not provide you with a comfortable lifestyle. So actually, this part will teach us. COVID will teach us a lot of things. Let's see how things go. We still believe that some countries are going to come up with great cure, and we are going to change our mind about what's been happening all over the world. We are not very sure how the situation in India looks good today, but we are keeping our fingers crossed. We don't believe that we are going to stay this fine once the lockdown opens up, and the way we are testing, the low numbers that we are testing, we think that maybe we are underreporting. Let's see how things turn out to be.
I think it's very difficult to report until we have stayed locked down for quite some time and we're able to contain certain areas because there wasn't enough tests. There haven't been enough testing. And I think that we just need to wait it out. And it's funny because you were asking, about reentry, right? Getting back to society. And everybody has this idea that we're going to go back to work like normal. And I think if we look at the statistics and data from places like Hong Kong, who really didn't officially shut down, and their numbers are pretty solid, is 4 deaths since
Yep.
January, 4 deaths. The infection rates, they're, like everyone, that's kind of questionable. But what they did was extreme measures of discipline, like we talk about on this show, right? Extreme measures of wearing a mask, social distancing. They only have 2 people at a table at a restaurant, but they didn't close the restaurants. Life kind of continued, but at a different pace, which is, I think, we came to a screeching halt. It was an extreme. I think we should have heeded some of the warnings early on, and we could have slowed down a pace a little bit, right? And we could have prevented a massive infection rate and massive death. But then we have somebody like Max, who he's in Vietnam, and they don't feel the impact of the COVID and everything. They had good practices and good disciplines from early on. Hi, Max. Do you have
The
questions
the
for?
way information would flow, the way your authorities inform you about the situation, and the way they set the guidelines is very important. Yeah, that is what is going to save everybody and the number of people who actually get serious about those guidelines.
I think we need to get very serious about the guidelines and policies, but not just policies, they have to be enforced. And this is what I tell people. You can make all the laws in the world, but until you have an enforcement for them in place, those laws aren't going to make a darn. I mean, we got laws that say, you can't do this and can't do that, but there's no enforcement behind them. So they don't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So,
The love for civil liberties. You
right.
guys are paying for love of civil liberties. And in India, it is more of a law and order situation here. I think it's a law and order situation that is containing whatever we are doing till now.
I agree with you. I think we need to contain it, respect each other, learn to build immunity, which maybe you can help us do. Hoping that you start a show and teach us calmness, respect, and how to build our immunities. Rest. I keep hearing the word sleep and rest, and all the doctors that have come on our show this whole week. It's been really interesting to me that they all keep talking about the amount of sleep that we get, and we need to sleep more, get more rest. But all of that comes with internal peace. Don't you agree? I can't sleep well if I'm not internally happy, or unless I'm physically exhausted. But we have to have self-respect, and then we can respect others, right? So what else can we do? What's some of your advice to our people for calming down? Relaxing, don't panic. They didn't save their money. They weren't good stewards, but what can we do? We can think about tomorrow. Count
I
on
think relaxing, it is more to do with how well informed you are.
exactly.
You should not be panicking. One thing, you should be protecting yourself enough. You should be clear about the guidelines. If you know these are the things that are going to save me if I'm going out and I have the right kind of information. So when I come back home, I know that I have not gathered the infection from somewhere. I think that's a big point. How you can stay calm is because you are informed. You know what is the right kind of precaution to take. You know what to do. You know the social distance. You know the wearing of mask. You know what to touch, what not to touch. You should know what is the um, stay time of the virus on a particular surface, be it metal, wood, cloth, paper. If you are well informed, I think that would take a long way in keeping yourself calm. That is medically what I can say, keeping yourself calm. Yeah, that is the reason.
No, and I agree with you. Staying
And then you have to say that the whole world is in it together. Let's see. Let's hope for the best.
well, and that's
Let's.
the thing. I think first we need to start in our communities, right? We need to start because we're staying home anyway. So we need to protect our communities. But I think the whole world needs to be joined together in this fight. We all need to take those same policies and same procedures and, stay at home, use your phone if you think you're sick. Today we heard some very powerful advice. Don't treat yourself. Please, people, don't treat yourself. Call the doctor, tell the doctor your symptoms, and get the right medical help. But, if you're worried and sitting and worried about it, you're going to make yourself worse. We're learning other things are happening. I've been receiving notices from friends who are in the medical field that, COVID seems to be affecting people differently. So we don't know every symptom to a T, right? We know that there are some, but we also know that you are contagious for weeks before you even get a symptoms. So, just stay home, be calm, find things to do at home, right? Meditate, get back healthy, find blessings in your life. Be thankful if you have food, and if you don't, call us. Contact Ankit or I or Nick here at IBM TV. We got a whole team of people. No matter what country you're in, we know somebody who knows somebody. I think Ankit knows everybody in the world. And we'll help you. We've actually had people contact us and ask us for help, and we've been able to get them in contact with other people. So don't feel like you're alone. There's no reason. And reach out to us for mental help. If you're sad, I'm sure we've got people who would be more than happy to help talk to you about how to become happy again. Because there's so many blessings. If you're still breathing and you can still smell and taste, this is what I told somebody today. I'm still breathing. I can still smell and taste. I have a blessing, right? And that's what we have to look at. We have to take our blessings first. And I think we're not doing that. Dr. Tula, welcome.
Hi Kim, how are you doing? All well?
Oh, well, what good news do you bring for us today?
So the good thing is that See, we are in a dilemma at the moment between two subset of people. There are people who are living with their families. Generally, people living with their families are doing better. I'm talking about from the mental frame, because ultimately I'm locked inside the house for hours and hours and days together. So I generally believe that the people mentally their health is much better who are living in together in a family setup. The big challenge is going to be for people who are, living independently, because then you are living virtually in solitude, and despite all the, uh, I mean, networking facility which you have, still you don't have someone objectively to fall back on. Generally, people in families will handle this situation better than people living alone, and I think uh, even the elderly who are living in a family setup, they will always have a much better chance of passing this crisis easily as compared to people who are staying alone. So, what we need to do basically is that, especially for people who are staying alone, we need them to have one go day by day on as per each day. So, they should have some kind of a schedule made for them so that it keeps them busy. So that means some amount of hours should be dedicated for work, some amount of hours should be dedicated for their hobbies or any leisurely activity. They have to keep themselves as busy as possible, maybe even more busy than their normal times. If they are able to do that, mentally they will be at peace. They will not panic. So it is very important that we make people understand that they need to be busy around themselves. This is a golden opportunity to introspect, to look at, fall back, do all the activities which you wanted to do and you were not able to do, without stepping out of your house. The only take home message is stay safe, stay indoors. The more you stay indoors, the less is the chance of you getting infected. And even if you are infected, the less is the chance of you passing on to others. That is more important at the moment.
No, and I could not agree with you more. But there's something to be said about the mental state of minds. We've seen some people go crazy here in the U.S. already. Amandeep, I don't know if you read the news about people shooting people, and we have a high rate of domestic violence, very, very high rate. 12 million victims a year. And they don't really elaborate or report on this, but it is 12 million female victims a year, 24 million children a year in domestic violence. So one part about bringing education back home kind of scared me for the children, because their only relief from the domestic violence sometimes was the 5 to 6 hours they had at school. But you couldn't have brought home something. You brought up something, Dr. Tula, is that we need to find a way to preoccupy our time. Chess is a great way. Come on, Max, get us some chess things going on that we can help. Elderly can play chess. Women can play chess. Children can. It's free. It's not a game that you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for uniforms and training, right, Max?
Yeah, that's right. And you can also play it online against pretty much anyone, anywhere in the world. Chess.com is actually the leading chess server. Actually, it's based in America. It's my favorite one, and it's just a great community as well as a great place to play chess.
And it is a great community, and maybe a great way for people who don't have anything to do right now is to also, just because you make friends through all these chess people. I've never played chess except for as a child, but all of these chess people reach out to me now. They all want to play chess. I can't play chess. And